Doubt is not a pleasurable condition, but certainty is. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So what do we got going on tonight with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? Bitcoin hanging out a little bit below 52,000. People are calling this a magical level. They're trying to figure out whether or not we're going to get the price breakout above it and start seeing all new highs, headed to new territory, or whether or not we're going to have another breakdown, see our prices sliding backwards a little bit. The price is always going to go upwards when you zoom out and look at Bitcoin. The micro moves of Bitcoin, it's only significant to the traders. Of course, I want all of you guys to just realize that they're talking about $500 in Bitcoin can make you a millionaire in the future if you can just hold on to it long enough. Stop paying attention to the news and the noise. And you know who's here trying to get me to get other people to do this is my lovely and beautiful as always co-host, Sammy.
Good evening, everyone.
How are you doing over there, Samantha?
I'm pretty good.
Doing pretty good this evening?
Yes.
Are you enjoying the Bitcoin price at a little bit below 52,000?
It's not bad.
Do you think that we're going to be moving onwards and upwards back to those all-time highs of 58,000? Or do you think that we got some more consolidating and breaking down and, you know, traders being trading?
I don't know. I mean, that is not my cup of tea.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean, it does not matter that much.
Well, I don't know. I was noticing, we watch all of the other YouTubers out there.
Yeah.
I like how World Crypto Network is starting to do the stats by cents. You know, there's 20 Satoshis for a penny. I like that. I like how that breaks it down because these are more realistic terms on what the average everyday person needs to start thinking. It was never actually meant for one individual to hold a whole Bitcoin. When we're talking about the entire surplus of all the Bitcoins that were ever going to be minted was 21 million.
Yeah, but it's not really a lot. in the population of like globalness. Yeah.
I mean,
gotcha.
It's been a game of hungry hippos, right? And of course there were less people in the beginning, more Bitcoin, the halvening. That's why this is all working out beautifully as designed.
I mean, yeah, that's why I find it unsettling that, like, I mean, every other day you're hearing MicroStrategy or something. You just like, I mean, millions and billions of it. It's like, oh, no one else is going to get that now. Like, for sure.
It's true. It's going to change the way the world looks in the future and who holds power. I noticed that people are starting to talk a lot about bonds and like risky assets and how the bond yield is coming up and how, it's making stock markets less appealing.
All right, so MSBDT is here.
Mike, nice.
Zaza's
Thanks
here.
for joining us. Zaza, I appreciate you coming out here, my friend. Still wearing the swag. Going to continue to pimp it on the show here. Can't thank you enough for it.
All right, and Paul Rouleau gave us a $10 super chat right off the freaking bat.
Paul Rouleau, my man, I appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. We love getting out here. We love talking to you guys. We look forward to it, right? We were talking about it all day today about how we had, an earlier day today, so we were like, oh, this is going to be great, a good opportunity to be able to go home and do the show.
We did too much yesterday, and it got away from us. We were literally at this time in our yard, and we were all like, oh, no!
Well, Samantha's greenhouse is erect and covered with the paneling. It's not fully secured. The door is not on. The windows aren't on, but the building is standing there.
Yes. It's like
8 foot tall and
done, yeah,
it's like 8 foot tall and 12 to 15 foot wide and 25 foot long.
And I got some support beamy thingies in the middle, which I'm gonna hang my staghorn from. Yeah, chandelier plant style.
But
I'm gonna white girl it up in there. Yeah.
We're here. We're talking about Bitcoin. We're continuing that roundtable discussion, which I've always found the best thing to keep me going, right? And to know what the new buzz is, right? Everyone's talking about like what the non-fungible tokens now. I think I even heard CNBC was talking about it.
Oh, yeah. The one dude.
talking about, non-fungible tokens being some of the future of possible art and how they were going for so much money in cryptocurrencies. And it was weird, hearing them talk about it on the regular news. They had their facts pretty correct. But it is this ideal that we are breaking into mainstream, that this has been said over and over and over again. These side projects are going to start to become more mainstream as well, right? I don't know whether or not non-fungible tokens are going to end up being the thing in the end.
I've never been a collector of anything, so yeah. But I mean, just because it's not our cup of tea does not mean that it is not going to be booming. I mean,
people have been collecting things since the beginning of time, and there's always been those things that were worth more money over collecting it. But a lot of times, collection is a hobby. It's a passion. You put a few dollars into it. You constantly are collecting. You like your collection.
The people that are the fanatics, that are the hobbyists, that are the fanatics. I mean, I don't know. I don't really see a purpose for NFTs, but that does not mean that is, does not mean it's not going to work. Obviously. I mean, coming from the crypto kitty purchaser, obviously, I don't know what I'm at. Yeah. Oh. All right. MS Biddy says that we have to plan a hang up to meet up. I know we do. We have to plan something.
Yes, well, we're in the works of planning our, summer. Now that it seems like, everyone's lifting their mask mandate, it looks like we're going to be able to get off to Ooby Dooby. I booked the vehicle for the road trip and everything. I mean, the ticket's all paid for. I put the last payment on it.
You can't tell Eugene is a super planner. Okay, so yes. So what? Fall time? Fall. Do we have anything going on in fall?
No, we got to do it before all that. Well, my big thing right now is that I'm holding up because, we all know that we're on the cusp of getting another $1,400 stimulus check. We know that the reverse went out and the bus still runs, bus still drives. But, I haven't done much with it since the reverse went out. When the $1,400 stimulus check comes in for both of us, we're going to put the reverse back in. Then I'm going to get back on the build.
Wide open space.
I would like to take the bus up the East Coast and go see my family in New York. So it would definitely be amazing to stop and plan it along that trip to be able to actually hang out for a day or two along the way.
Like boomerang it, like way out and come back in. Yeah.
Then you just come up from the panhandle.
Oh, you're right. And then you're like one state over or something. Just boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But back to Bitcoin and coffee topics.
Sorry.
Well, that is part of this, is that we do care. This is a very small community. I don't have thousands and thousands of followers. We don't get 100 views, but we are all in this together. We all are hanging out. We do have people come and go from the group. And it's about keeping this conversation going, that buying Bitcoin and hanging out here for the long haul is beneficial. Has been beneficial, no matter how you want to reason it or rationalize it. Bitcoin has been going up in value. Bitcoin continues to go up in value. As long as you're purchasing Bitcoin without predetermined ideals and notions about how much fiat cash you're going to make off of it in any short-term respects, it has done us well. Everybody that has done this.
Yes. Yeah, so, everybody, every single, even worst sub-story ever, this of horrible, still doing better than they were before. Still doing better. Just the knowledge of the system and what is going on is better. All of it.
It's the only thing I know of that you can invest as little as $5 and it have amazing returns down the road. And anybody can do this in any country, of any sex, of any race, of any religion, of anything. A computer can do it, right?
Yep.
So when it gets to be like this, then it breaks up all those barriers that everybody's always complaining about, and anybody that can invest as little money as they want, and it does great things for them to save. And the early adopters, like we are going to be paid magnitudes more for our, I don't know what you want to call it, stubbornness, ingenuity here to realize the situation of what's going on with the centralized fiat cash versus the birth of this decentralized currency. But I don't want my money to control me. I want to control my money. And that's not happening with the American dollar bill. And that's the problem that most people see. I trust math. I trust the code that when I look at it, I can use it to be able to represent the things that I want. When I work, I'm paid in Satoshis and I can spend them to buy what I want. And I can only be the one to control the transactions. And it can be uncensored and no one's going to tax me along the way but the network.
All right, so where are we at? Okay, so Mike says that he wants to at least print the stuff that we're gonna take with us. That he has a new printer arriving any day. Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. We were thinking, okay, we can come up with something.
Yeah, I haven't designed a flyer yet.
Because we didn't have any funds and we were thinking, Vistaprint, I don't know, do we really? Yeah, all right. So, Truth Monster is also here. Ooh, 52. Okay, so 52,500.
Nice. Well, I mean, it's going to be different everywhere that you look. I've seen that the price has been moving up slowly, unless it just jumped recently a moment ago.
It could have, because Mike is also saying yes. So maybe, yay.
Well, I mean, that's the barrier that people are talking about. Let's hope the price does move onwards and upwards. I don't believe this, bond yield stuff or whatever people are going to point to. The ideal of trying to stop this from exploding when we see so many companies of reputable names putting in millions upon millions of dollars to at least be able to hold some Bitcoin on their balance sheet, it's going to make other companies do it. We've said this time and time again, but that's still where we're at. Like, we're still at that junction. Even though we can say it day in and day out, they don't move that quick. They're still getting their wheels in order. They got 3 ETFs in Canada, but we got none here in the United States.
I know.
So
it's going to take for freaking ever for some reason. I don't even understand.
We're going to look at this entire year, and we're going to say it so many times, it's going to be a dead horse, right?
Now
We've done this before. We've done it before. But come December, compared to what we're looking at now, it's going to be like, oh, there's 100 companies in here. There's no liquidity. The exchanges are all dried up. We're at 100 and something K. And is this bubble territory? No, because there's no Bitcoin left.
Right. Okay, well, we were reaching the 20,000. Everybody was saying, why? And is this like, why? Why? What is the value? And why are you, what? That is not the question on people's minds now. When you're looking at Elon freaking Musk and everybody and their mother, no one's saying why is the price of Bitcoin going up now.
Well, I mean, what part of the big difference is that before, when the average person, because it was every person and their mother was getting into Bitcoin and buying it, but they were also looking to turn around and sell it.
Yes, that's why Coinbase was like literally impossible to get into.
These companies aren't looking to sell it, right? They're looking to hold on to it long term. They're looking to hold on to it 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So that changes how the situation goes, right? Because when you're playing a game of hungry hippos, but then all the hippos are also throwing up the balls. There's a lot of balls all still moving around out there, but when the hungry hippos are trying to catch the balls and they keep the balls, eventually there are no balls. And that's the point we keep talking about when the price of Bitcoin goes astronomical, because there's still companies that want it.
Mm-hmm. All right, where are we at? So Mike says that he texted us a picture. Ooh, us and Zaza a picture of the printer. Nice. I like printers. Okay. And he also said that Norwegian company that bought 58 million today. Yeah, it's holding. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Everybody's gonna be a very hoardy hippo. They will no longer be hungry hippos. They will just, everybody's going to be sitting on whatever they
Well, I mean, we see people investing money into development of Bitcoin. And that's because that's where we are. We are early adopters. We still don't have it where Bitcoin The average everyday person, it will have Bitcoin someday, right? But when they have it, there will be so much infrastructure developed already and digital wallets that are so
won't even be
easy.
yours. You'll
I mean,
be owning somebody else's portion or something.
I mean, it may even be that they have that, but it's the fact that the price of Bitcoin is going to be stabilized, or at least stabilized on the Satoshi level, because it's going to be all bought up. You know what I mean? Like, there isn't going to be any more. It's going to be like they're all bought up. The price is stabilized because it's in the millions and millions of dollars or whatever per Bitcoin. And yes, you have Satoshis, but it's going to be like, we buy now. And the network will be simplified where I send it to you and there's no transaction fees. It'll be like Lightning Network plus, 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 right?
Lightning squared or something, cubed.
But I'm just saying, like, this is how we talk about that we're so early that the stuff that's actually going to happen with Bitcoin isn't even thought of yet. We're still trying to get a network that can do the things that we can do with our centralized networks. But the fact that this is all on decentralized is what's going to make this money that lasts so much longer than what we've seen any fiat cash ever be able to exist.
Right. It's going to be dudes our kids' age, like right now, that are going to actually make this stuff implementable. And like, I mean, that's how his children are literally going to be touching phones or wrist bracelets or eyeballs or whatever it is. Like, and we're old and gray.
I don't know. I mean, they keep printing it. It really leads a lot of people, myself included, to believe that that's not quite right, and that Bitcoin being sound money the way that it is, where we know how much there is, we know where the transactions are, we know where the money's going, see much more how we feel money should be, right? How it should be working for us. Because I didn't really get much of a vote to say that the little bit I have saved needs to go down in value because they need to inflate the value because they want to send $300 a month checks here, or they want to do this here, or they want to do this there.
Oh my God, and inmates are going to get whatever's and everybody in with it.
The point is, it really doesn't matter. I mean,
it doesn't.
My money lost value because a lot of other people made decisions after the fact of me making the money. That doesn't happen with Bitcoin. When you buy into Bitcoin, when you work and you earn Bitcoin, the rules that Bitcoin had when you signed up to get it are the same rules that it will be for as long as you want to hold it.
Zaza says that we haven't even seen the aftermath of Sailor's Conference of Companies yet either. Okay, I mean, yes. I don't know why as soon as dumb million billionaires like to open their mouth, everybody is. But yeah. I'm sure he's going to get a nice little feeding frenzy from whatever someone's going to be.
I don't know. I can understand from their perspective, you don't trust nothing for the first 10 years, right? At least not to the point of wanting to put large investments into it. So after the first 10 years of Bitcoin still being here, it's still going up in value. It's still getting traction. And as much traction as it's received really is like, I don't know if I could afford to miss the boat on this one, especially if they've afforded to miss the boat on other things that have.
I know, right? Like looking at your whatever, yes, and being like, oh man, I didn't buy into blankety blank that time around. I could have been at quadruple error or something. And it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah. Rich people problems.
Not investing enough in the little projects.
Yeah. So now it's like, what? But right, is that how like I mean, I guess it's all the same kind of things. It's how all of us get thrown into scams and stupid crap because we're worried that we've missed out. We're worried that we've already missed something because we missed the time before the airdrop.
That's what we saw. That's what we saw during the ICO craze, right? Is that once people started becoming a millionaire after investing just a few $100s in the first set of ICOs, it was like, how can I afford not to do this? And then everybody was doing it. And then it wasn't really working because nobody was making projects. They were just selling ICOs. Let's sell a bunch of IOUs.
Okay, so it reminds me of like when when you're in like elementary and middle school and you have the candy bars or like the catalog of like the wrapping paper or the fudge or the whatever that you're supposed to. Yeah, no one actually gets those. You know what I mean? You remember like I mean, and you had the envelope of checks. Did you ever give anybody the? No, you never gave like. If that's what an ICO is like. It's that. It was a lot of fundraising. They were very adamant.
So, what are you guys thinking tonight in the chat? How are you guys feeling? What do you got going on in your cryptocurrency thoughts? The last little bit I got to talk here is it's about Ethereum with this EIP 1559.
Yeah.
That's why I was contributing the pump to the other day. I mean, it's pretty obvious that once you get implementation of this kind of upgrade to the network, it's by the room or by
everybody
the news, by the news.
Yeah. I mean,
they're moving to proof of stake anyway, so they have to do what they have to do to try to slow this down. I mean, I don't use Ethereum much. I'm not writing smart contracts, but from what I hear, the prices are still outrageous.
Man, really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
well, it's a supercomputer, right? I mean, that's how they sold themselves for a long time. You're writing a smart contract. You need the supercomputer to process it. Well, that supercomputer is going to cost them super money.
Super. It's all super. All right, BTC Moon Guy.
BTC Moon Guy, nice. Thanks for joining us.
All right, so Mike says, so get this. I love that. Yeah, okay. Pause for dramatic effect. I gave my oldest daughter 40 Ethereum when it was 33 cents. She just found her keys.
Nice.
What?
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's not good that she lost them and just found them, but it's good that the time has passed and that they were found.
Yeah.
So they're not lost and gone forever. That's always one of my
she's
fears.
Not a landfiller. Yeah, because that's what. Like dude with the golden egg hunt of.
Try to find the laptop in the landfill, and I'll split this with the county. And
so much happier that it was in the garage or an attic, like one of those people where it was like, oh, let me just power you up and look. Oh dear God. Yeah. Okay. Oh, he says, yes, very, very happy. Wait, how do you say this? Exchange? When you are
ecstatic?
No. Estranged.
Oh, estranged. Okay.
There we go. We are, as it is, but she did let me know that and was very grateful. Well, all right. So you're like partially like, I don't know. Because yes, usually, that's cool.
Still doing good things from a distance.
That is still cool, though.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I probably would, too. It'd be like, yeah, you know what? I thought of you when I found this and realized I got a shitload of money. Like, yay, thanks. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of that kind of stuff. I know that at one point I had some Ripple, and I know that this was like when it was fractions of a cent, and I had a few thousand of them. So it's like, and I don't know where keys are to stuff like that. I don't know where keys are to a lot of different, like, little bits of cryptocurrency I held in the beginning when these things were worth nothing, like thousands for a penny and stuff. But
yeah, a lot of what our Frankenstein mined, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I
tried to mine a bunch of different little cryptocurrencies, and you'd collect some, and they weren't worth anything, and you couldn't trade it out or sell it, so you just kind of held on to them, and then after a while, you'd lose them. But this is what happens. This is why this is the hard process of staying in the space, but not in the space, right? Because if you stay too much into the cryptocurrency space, it's real easy to get washed out. Like either you get burned out on the news, you get scared and end up selling your money, you end up over investing, you end up investing in something else that you shouldn't have.
I mean,
But then, I mean, if you walk away completely, then it's like his estranged daughter, where it's like you're looking for keys and not really realizing the importance of them or what you should have done to keep up with it, right? Because there's always some sort of maintenance.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know a lot of the stuff that it is lost. Like we did, I mean, landfill style. Like you're never finding.
Well, I mean,
and
since we've been in Bitcoin, there's been how many forks that we've had to claim? You know, we've also had to change to get segregated witness wallets. Yeah. You know, so there's stuff that happens. You can't just walk away forever.
Remember all the MetaMask wallets that had just some little weird ERC20 that was just enough?
Yeah, they're getting rained on you for owning this, for owning that.
Yeah. I mean,
airdrops were the biggest thing for a long time.
Now you're making me feel like I'm a litter bug. You know what I mean? Just like.
Well, please, last of your comments and chats. You know, we're getting ready to wrap it up, but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Oh, where are we at? Oh, James Benhart is here.
James, hello. Nice for joining us.
Oh, yep. So yeah, Norwegian. Yes, James, the Norwegian oil. I mean, oil billionaire.
That's the one with the landfill.
He's the one that did the 48 billion today in Bitcoin.
Oh, that bought the 48 billion in Bitcoin. Million. They're jumping in one after another. I mean, this is what the news is going to be for a while. I mean, it's just that they're always buying OTC. Yeah, you have to keep an eye on the network, right? That's where the real statistics are going to be, is watching the Bitcoin move on the network, watching the outflow from Coinbase, because we know that most of these people took the playbook from MicroStrategies, and that was his go-to.
Oh, yes.
And I know that I've been watching other YouTubers, and they've been pointing out the outflows from Coinbase, being like, oh, look, there was 19,000 Bitcoin that left on this day and this day and this day, you know, this many left. You know, that's where you would find some of the more real statistical information right now that would be of value, because that is who's buying. That is where the real action is happening, is these companies buying large bats of Bitcoin and taking them off of the market. And they are the Bitcoins that are cycling through from Coinbase, you know, which is where the average everyday person is getting in and holding and storing their Bitcoin. And as their prices are dropping down, they're selling them off or whatever they're doing. And Coinbase is holding onto the pools and selling them off to these companies.
I mean, I have said it for a very long time that Coinbase is the man, and I mean the man helps the other men. Okay, like that's how it works. So yes, I mean, I have no doubt.
Spoken from a woman, the man helps the other men.
Absolutely, 100%.
Anything else in that chat over there, Samantha?
No, we're good.
All right, you guys. I super appreciate you guys coming out here and hanging out with us this evening. It means a lot to us. Bitcoin's done great things for us. It continues to do great things. I can't wait to see how bright our future is going to be. I just hope that you guys are all hanging out with me there at the end. We're all being like, yeah, you know, told you, this has been great hodling. Don't get washed up. Don't let the market flood you out. Don't let anybody come between you and your Bitcoin or your private keys, because this is what's going to set us apart. I love hearing the stories like the one we had heard today about 0.01 Bitcoin making us part of the elites, because most of us have that, if not more, right?
Yeah, I like those ratios.
You guys have a good one. Take care of each other. Remember to keep that BTC safe. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.